Everybody, welcome to our Friday stream. We're taking Blitz challenges. Rated? No. We're taking casual Blitz challenges, 5+3. Increment only, 5+3. So we can think a little bit and talk about the games. This stream, time control, 5+3 casual. Welcome everybody. We're going to be taking challenges here for the next 2 hours plus. Sardai. Spieler Schieber. Schieber Spieler, what's your deal? What are you doing? Do you have some tournament lined up? Are you playing in something? No? Over the board, 19 to 22 August. That's 2 weeks. A little under 2 weeks. You gotta play more. Especially at your age. I played my most. Alright, Sardai, Cheesy Noob. Cheesy Noob's back. Chess Falcon. 10-year-old. Alright, so Schieber Spieler, what about streaming? Are you streaming? The Schieber Spieler, my fellow Hungarian resident. I'm not a citizen, but I'm a resident. He's a Hungarian, real Hungarian. Just a migrant. So, Schieber Spieler, what about your streaming? Schieber Streamer. Sardai, we'll start with this challenge against him. Then Cheesy Noob, 10-year-old, Chess Falcon. How's the board look? We've got open challenges. So anyone with 100 rated games is welcome to challenge me, so long as the challenge is casual time control. What am I doing? Why did I play e6? I don't know. Alright. Momentarily allowed the French defense there. I could have played the St. George. My intention was to play the St. George. A very weak opening, but fun. So what's up? What's up today? The Chessable Masters? I'm not really into that stuff. I like real chess tournaments. D5, B5. Blumenfeld Gambit, one of my favorites. It's not really bad. Risky opening. You know, you might stream tomorrow a bit in a classical arena. Is that classical team thing again? Tomorrow? Or no? Man, I'm surprised how often I see this move. It doesn't really have any theoretical basis, but it's actually not that bad. Last Saturday when I played in your team thing, I'm not very fresh on Saturdays. I usually stay out late, and it was a stretch. Try to take my day off seriously. Saturday's usually my only day off from at least playing chess. You're writing the message to the team. Alright, we've got challenges. So this is an unusual move. C takes B. Now bishop G5. I always mess this up. I guess I have to play bishop B7 to defend the D5 pawn. But I remember every time I've played this, I've misplayed it, basically, judging by what the computer says. I played D6, knight on BD7. I thought there was something better. What was it? What was the better idea? Bishop E7, knight C3, castles. Bishop takes F6, bishop takes F6, knight takes D5. Check, for example. So there's nothing wrong with bishop E7. I don't have to play this knight here to guard that knight to keep D5 protected. If knight C3, I'm sufficiently protected. Now there's a variation I didn't consider here. But anyway, black looks really active. This is fine. If bishop F6, knight D5, bishop B2. I guess rook B1, queen A5 check. Not really sure what to make of that. Black can't be worse. So you just joined Astrobate. Oh, the team. Schieberspieler's team. Saturday, classical team battle or team arena, whatever it is called. Last time Schieberspieler's team won twice, the last two. I helped him a little bit with a few games last time, but all right, what do we got? Bishop e2. What about pawn sacks like d4? In any case, this is what's concerning me. Like if white plays a4, I don't want him to play like a4, a5. Although even that's probably not fatal. The queenside majority is a little bit annoying. Yuho, welcome. Czech, I thought you were in Hungary. What does that mean? Czech, it might be mate. What are you talking about, Astrobate? So this variation doesn't exist in theory, yet it's not bad for white. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's just funny that I could find no theoretical basis for this at all. Like, no analysis, no examples of strong players playing c takes b. It just doesn't exist, like, theoretically. I did a video series on the Blumenfeld, and I didn't even consider it. Snuggles the Snail, welcome. So if I try to play a6 now, could be some issues with that. So what do I do? Knight e4. What happens on knight e4? Knight e4, bishop e7, knight e2. Whoa. Bishop d8, knight f3 check. Bishop d8, knight f1. Now my knight is trapped. He moves his bishop. But my knight isn't trapped because it can go to d2. So let's try this. Bishop e7, knight d2, bishop d8, knight f1. My knight is trapped. Damn. We have an interesting move though. I just recapture, and on knight d5 I have queen e6. That's actually really strong. So I just recapture. And black is better. Bishop e7, queen e7. Let's take one more look at bishop e7, knight d2, bishop d8, knight f3. That's not good. Bishop e7, knight d2, bishop d8, knight f1. And then he moves his bishop and my knight is trapped. It can't go to d2 because of the knight in f3. There's a possibility there that I could play like rook e8, bishop e7, rook e8, bishop d6, d4. Why did this move not even occur to me? This isn't good. Why is he doing that? I mean, it's playable, but I have a big center, so I didn't think he would do this. But it's okay, it's not game over for white. I did not anticipate that would be a serious possibility. Black center is humongous. We have to be better. Still, it's not that easy. Humongo. Big center. Big center versus big queen side. Look at that move, b4. Knight f3 check. What an interesting position this is. c4. Giving him the outside queen side. Very complicated position strategically. Knight f3 check, pawn takes, pawn takes. There's queen f6 as well. Kind of interesting move. It's a cheapo. Nothing like a cheapo, right, Astromate? Doesn't really work. Cheapos that don't work. Simul overlap? What? What are you talking about? Simul overlap? So I can play what, knight somewhere? Try to win the exchange? Knight c4. Knight c4, bishop c4, queen a1. My center falls. But it's playable. I win the exchange. Or something. Oh, the Classical Sunday takes place on Sunday. Classical Arena. Oh no. Due to lichess marathon. You can't overlap with my simul. I can't play in both. Sundays I do simuls. My favorite event of the week. The en passant I didn't like that much because he just takes with the knight. His rook is hanging on a1. I think he should have played, you know, just like bishop takes c4. Sorry. Bishop takes c4 here. Queen a1 and queen d6. He maybe has some compensation. It seemed like a better version of what he got. Now he's objectively lost. Let's see, just quickly, if he plays it that way. Was this even my best move? Is a good question. Should I take en passant? I don't think so. He just takes with the knight, and his rook's protected. Yeah, I played the only winning move. It's maybe not even winning, though. Like I said, knight c4, bishop c4, queen a1. This isn't that clear. B takes c5, not queen d6. So queen d6 is bad. I have a double attack. Alright. I got a team message. Tezek, welcome. Wait the hell. Cheesy Noob, 10-year-old, Chess Falcon, GM Sean. I know all these peoples. Welcome, everybody. Next stream, Simul Sunday. It'll be hard to win this week. Why is that, Schieberspieler? Well, I don't think a lot of people that are going to play the marathon are going to want to play in something like that the next day. Cheesy Noob, no London system. Alright, let's just play a Queen's Gambit. I've never played the lichess marathon. That's a bit much. Alright. Bishop g5. Hater of bishops. He's against the church. It's a Tory attack. Very well-known opening. Queen a5 check, knight c3, knight takes c3. Bishop takes c6, queen d2. Black's probably better there, though. Never play queen a5 check. You just gave me the pawn? Ah, Cheesy Noob's taking drugs. Cut down on the drugs, man. Alright. No, you gotta pin me. This is the point, right? Queen d2. Pin it and win it. Well, this is a winning position? Wow. I have a winning position. That's crazy. So f6, bishop f4, cd4, ed4, e5 takes bishop e4, saving my knight. I have to admit, like, I wouldn't have found it. In a long game I would have found it, but in a blitz game I would have missed it. That's pretty cool. Cheesy Noob plays too quickly, and he experiments too much in the openings. Alright, 10-year-old does not experiment too much in the openings. He always plays his English. It's very solid. You've got to remember that pin theme with Queen d2. I used that the other day with white in a game in some kind of Queen's Gambit-like position. You play the black pieces. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm International Master William Paschall. We're in Budapest, Hungary. We've got the English. Let's play e5. You know, it's more fun and more dynamic to play an imbalanced position. I play a lot of symmetrical English, which can be kind of a drag. The b6 I played against him before recently. Oh, Cheesy Noob. Cheesy Noob is a team member of Schieber-Spieler classical team. He played a lot of games. Asterbait and Cheesy Noob. Is it okay playing King's Indian against English? Yeah. King's Indian is the King's Indian. You can play it against everything. I like the King's Indian, but I feel like English players are used to that. I'm playing a reverse Grand Prix here. I might have played this against him long ago, but I don't remember. I don't bust it out too often. Years and years ago, I did a video recommending this for black on the site that I work for, chesslecture.com. There are certain benefits to playing this reverse Grand Prix. Sometimes it's like awkward having an extra move. Like what? This would be a normal position. Would be like my move if I was white, and I would play like bishop c4 or bishop e5. But it's like black's move or white's move in this case, with colors reversed. What's his move? You know, e3 is actually, it has some downsides. You know, this gambit is playable for black. It wouldn't be playable if I had played bishop c5, for example. I can't remember if we played this with 10-year-old already. I have not played a game in this line in a while. So he seems to know the line. I guess d3 is the best move. It took me 40 minutes to find that in my over-the-board game where I played this with black once. Or I played it with white, rather. So I guess d3 is right. I'm trying to remember, did I play knight takes d5 when I played it with white? So should I just recapture or play c6? c6, yeah, it has to be just recapture. Because c6 takes, I mean, that's actually interesting. c6, yeah, let's try it. Okay, I mean, this is very risky, I guess. But anyway, we're just having a little bit of fun. Plus, I think the 10-year-old is a player who likes to play controlled positions. I don't think that he likes chaos. I don't really go for chaos that much, but I'm much more adaptable. I can play chaotic positions. So he just played a3. That's a safe decision. I guess I could play queen a5 here. But it probably doesn't do anything. Like rook b1 or something. Okay, so the position is sort of stable now. We have a nice control of the center. What's my idea? How to deploy my pieces now? Queen d7, I guess. I was going to play bishop d6 and queen e7. But if bishop d6, queen b3, knight f4, queen b7, it's kind of a weird position. So maybe I'm better off just playing like queen d7. Queen d7 and like a French. Queen d7, bishop e7. I have no control over this e5 square. It's kind of funny though, nobody does. It's like a no man's land. I guess I can play this next if I want to. Thanks guys for being subscribers to the stream. We had a great stream yesterday. Game analysis. Astrobating some others. Thank you for donating some gift subs and bits to the stream. Queen c2, very solid. Now big decision, where to put this bishop. Which of these squares and why? Bishop d6 is more active. There's one move that bothers me. This gives my queen more mobility. On e7, my pieces kind of get in the way of the queen. Generally speaking, d6 is a more active square than e7. I did not expect b4. He doesn't consider the plan I was most significantly worried about. Now a5 becomes a break. Although I think I should get developed here. You know, it's like a Polish or whatever. I mean, the idea of a5 is very dangerous for white strategically. He's just not interested in doing something like e4, which is a common idea. Now a5 looks very standard actually. Why did I not play this last move? Actually, I wanted to get my king out of the center. But I'm playing on his side of the board here. I don't know. This is double-edged. White side of the board, theoretically, and the Sicilian is the queen side. Astrobate gifted a tier 1 sub to Tezake. Thank you, man. Miro BTW, welcome. Astrobate for president. Resident of Las Vegas. So guys, next stream will be Sunday, Simul, 6:30 CEST. Astrobate tried to start a hype train last night, but we couldn't get a hype train started. You have to have 5 people, I guess, make make some kind of donation or bit donation or gift sub within a certain period of time. Maybe we only had like 4. It wouldn't trigger for some reason. Now he plays e4. That was the move that I was most worried about. Knight takes c3. Alright, so am I like winning a pawn here? No. I'm actually hallucinating, really, majorly. I'm so used to my queen being on e7, I think I'm attacking this pawn with my queen. Should I take on e4? My e5 pawn is liability. This is a tough one. Think. Now I'm running out of time. f4, no. Keep it simple, I guess. Anyway, my queen is in a bad place. I never should have put it on d7. It belongs on this square. Belong. You belong. But this structure happens all the time. So I have an isolated pawn on e5. See, that's what usually happens when they play e4 like that. But I don't have a problem with that. We can sit here all day. Uh-oh. But he just blundered? No, he's a genius. Wait, he's dropping a pawn? Oh my god. Man, you're just not calculating. So I'm not even winning a piece, right? Queen b1, rook e2, bishop e2, queen a2 check. And then you're recapturing the piece on e2. I mean, I was thinking like here, last move, he has rook a1. Like when you see this, rook a1, queen a1, bishop e2, queen a2 check, and you win back the piece. I'm not winning a piece here. And he's resigning. But there's no way he should let me play. There's no way he should let me play rook a2. I mean, I'm better once I get my rook on the 7th. But I mean, rook a1. But I mean, it doesn't really drop b4, right? Rook a1. b4, I'm dropping e5. Let's see. You know, whatever variation you want to play here. Rook a1. Rook a1, queen a1. He has down here. If bishop takes e2, queen a2 check, wins back the piece. Alright, is he dropping b4? King f8, queen a2, bishop takes b4, yeah. He's dropping b4. So he is dropping a pawn. That's the best he can do. Where did we leave book? I mean, I think he should play like e4 very early. Maybe like now. I had a game with white against this Hungarian guy, Robert Torma, years ago, where I got just equal with black in a position like this, and we were pretty quickly agreeing to a draw, something like this. I mean, I'm not sure if queen c2 is necessary. You can also do it right away. The game was something like this. But I think my queen is on the wrong square. See here? This guy played bishop d6. I was afraid of ghosts. I was thinking I had to like play knight f4. But that's a problem. I was actually analyzing this. This is crazy, like takes, queen takes c6 check. There's no need for me to do that. I just play queen d7. Now I can play queen d7. See, I'm worried about losing this. If I play queen e7, maybe I have this? Yeah, this is protected too. Wow. I'm protected. So I was afraid of nothing. Alright, queen d7 was bad. Yuho just gifted a gift sub to Great Lazarus. Great Lazarus hasn't been on in a little while. He sometimes played for our team in our team battles. Seemingly a very strong player. Alright, let's try Karo Khan. For Schieberspieler. Oh no. Larry Rust. There was this bookseller who was like a 1900. Last time I played this, I got a terrible position. Karo Khan is hard to play. I don't know. From what perspective? I mean, I've played the Karo Khan since I was a kid. It's never been my #1 opening. Man, I hate this. I hate this. Like, Black Mardemer Gambit with the pawn on c6. It's passive. It's like a passive Black Mardemer for black. But this is not a great answer either. I mean, I guess I need to look this up. Maybe there's something more dynamic here. Probably like e5. We need to find a better move against this. I doubt e5 is that big a deal, but it's probably okay. I'm gonna look this up. Because I'm tired of like accepting this slightly worse position with black against this crap. Alright. Last time I allowed the Black Mardemer there, I got a really bad game against somebody. G6 doesn't look great either. This isn't great. It got dissed? Well, no, I mean, I'm kind of... Why do you think I'm dissing it? I'm actually respecting it by declining the gambit. I don't know, you know? I don't think I'm dissing it. I mean, for an offbeat system, it's not that bad. It's as playable as any Black Mardemer, I guess. Of course, I've only ever had to play in 1900. But there was someone good that played it against me in Blitz here. This looks like some kind of weird Slav or something now. Stonewall attack. I was thinking e6. I think I have to be aggressive. It seems weird to keep moving the same piece twice. Acerbate motif. Move the same piece twice a lot. See what happens. But the knight on b6 is not a piece to be really proud of. Bishop d2. So you can do it as well. Bishop d2 looks like a good move. What if I go after his central pawn? Not important at all. Just a plain old central pawn. Nothing important there. Now we go into boring mode. Man, I never would have guessed this was an F3 Caro-Kann gambit. Which is better, French versus Caro? Neither. That's like asking the meaning of the universe. I mean, I think they're both equally reasonable. Anyone who would answer that question, like, you probably want to post that in the lichess forums, which I truly love. If you find someone who answers that question authoritatively, you know they know nothing about chess. They're just a poser. There's lots of people in the forums who would answer that question for you. Maybe I have this thing about not taking pawns on b2. I hate the lichess forum. This is a strange game. The Chess Falcon. Chess Falconer. I don't know, what is this? The Stonewall attack? Whoa. Yes. You didn't see that last move, but now you saw it. So now I'm in trouble. Maybe I should put the king on e7, but this looks safer. Again, it's very hard to believe that this was a... It's very hard to believe this was an F3 gambit line. You should try playing some Stonewall with white. Montenegro is so nice. Who went to Montenegro? Bijak, you went to Montenegro? Oh, you were on vacation in Montenegro. Wow, nice. Yeah, I had a friend who toured Europe and he didn't go to Montenegro. I was like, why didn't you go to Montenegro? I'm going to Romania next week, so we're not going to be streaming. Monday only, it looks like. And then we're off for a week after Monday. I'm going to be off something like from Monday to Wednesday. I might be able to do a stream here or there. Wow. What is that move? Oh, this is scary. What is going on? Every variation works for white perfectly. We're just like getting crushed by him. perfect white pieces. And he's like faster than me. I can't predict any move he made the entire game, basically. I guess I'm just lucky to be alive. Here's another move. There'll be no human way to predict that. Humanly impossible to predict white's moves. What? I don't know, man. Where do you come up with these crazy moves? Pretty inspiring. He's finally running out of gas. It's hard to believe he's 1700 in bullet. And like insanely fast. He's way faster than me, and he's 1700 in bullet. What's up with that? You can't predict any of his moves. It's just crazy. Look how fast he is. How is that possible? This is the weirdest game ever. I was definitely lost. Pawn shelves. I think it's over. I might stalemate you. I mean, I want to look at that e6 move, honestly. This move is unbelievable. Yeah, he's totally winning. I had lost position. He has queen a4 check immediately. This was crushing. A move later, it's not as good, but it's still good. But this move, man, c4. c4 looks like a secret move. Thought so. c4 is exclamation point. This. But I like this e6 move. I guess I'm objectively winning, but still. It's pretty scary. You have to make sure, you know, you're okay here with the king out on h6. There's nothing for white. Nah, that was a weird game. I let that queen a4 check get me. Very strange opening. I wanted to see f3, e5. Played by Vladimir Novikov. I mean Malkov. What about e5? Is this... This is more like it. I don't want to lose the initiative in the opening. I mean, e5 looks like a good move. I mean, the computer wants to take the pawn. Okay, whatever. But you can also play this, followed by this. Some kind of combination of the idea of e5. So this is transposing to an f3. Like d5, f3. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. e5. But that's different. That's different because of knight f3. This is better for white than the other line. So how would we even get that position? It's like impossible. e5. Knight c3. You know, white would have to cooperate and play that move, and then allow. This isn't right either. I don't see how that position can happen from the f3. So it's weird. It's like a totally different variation. Takes f3. Knight f6. This is possible, of course. But f takes e. Declined. Yeah, I'm going to play like this from now on. I mean, I don't really want to go into that. GM Sean Great Lazarus got gift subbed. Lasker, Sumaher. There's a new player here, ETK. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be effective against Caro-Kann players. The last time I played it with black, I accepted the gambit, and I realized I have no freaking clue what I'm doing, playing c6 in the black Mardimer, which is not the line that I would normally play. So that's why I'm declining it. I mean, c6 is a very passive response to Black Mardemer. It's useless. Stefan Pettersson recommended like e6 in his book on the Queen's Gambit, and that's horrible too. Black has to play actively against the Black Mardemer. I think like either g6 or bishop g4. So I don't know what Black's doing with the white square bishop here. I mean, the problem is that no good players play the Black Mardemer. So people like me, I mean, we can't take it seriously. And then, you know, it's a little dangerous if you're not careful. As I said, I've only faced a 1900. That was 25 years ago. This is like the third time I faced it in Blitz. But it's dangerous. I would say like in Blitz or Rapid, that line would be okay. I wouldn't play it in a long game. Daimler Mercedes. So what's up in the chess world? So who qualified for the candidates tournaments from the World Cup? All the semi-finalists like Fedoseev, Duda, and Karyakin. Is that right? How it works? But Fedoseev doesn't qualify for like fourth. Did the dude have to beat Magnus to qualify for the World Cup? Third didn't count. Alright, I thought maybe it was like all semi-finalists. That would suck if you had to like beat Magnus in a match to qualify for the candidates tournament. Interesting play by Black. Threatening discoveries? But what? What discoveries are you actually threatening? So I guess I can play Rook B1. Getting off the dark squares. I'd rather not trade my C pawn for his A pawn. GM Sean is playing too quickly. It's a disease on the internet. People say my style of play, which is dynamic, not suited for classical. Well, there's a big difference between over-the-board chess and online. If we're talking about like over-the-board long games, it's still okay until a point, you know. But just because your opening is a tricky one doesn't mean you have like a tricky style necessarily. I think it's hard to determine your own style. It may take a lifetime. Don't put yourself in a category, you know. Or don't let people put you into a category. Everyone talks about me subjectively based on their styles. I don't think it's easy to say, even after playing chess for 30 years, what my style is. It depends on your perspective. But for someone who's played like 10 years or less, a younger player, I mean, I don't think you should put yourself in categories. Vasham Chess, welcome. Long time no see. I try to be like a universal player, and then what you do is you basically try to exploit the weaknesses in your opponent. So play according to what you need to do against that particular opponent. I try to gear my game toward my opponent's weaknesses. If you have a more universal style, you can do that, obviously. This is playing for tricks. This is like old school Asterbait. Napu gonna get crushed by Fedoseev. What are you talking about? What is that? The chessable? That's some chessable thing? I don't understand. Are those guys playing in that? I don't really follow the online chess scene. The Magnus Internationals. I like real chess. I noticed like the British Championship yesterday, they had they're having like a British Championship on Zoom, playing like, this seems so strange. There's all these like dubious characters with good scores and stuff. Like second place player I've never heard of. There's another guy who's like 2100 who's in the top 5. That seems kind of weird. I'm sure the more we have like online tournaments, the stranger the results will get. You're talking about the World Championship match between Nepo and Carlsen. But he said Fedoseev. Oh, alright, now I understand. Minor difference. Oh, alright, now I get it. I was like, don't understand. Well, the British Championship is really weak. Only Michael Adams is playing and nobody else. So it's sort of silly. But he's not even in first place after 7 rounds. Arkell's not a bad player, but the field is really, really weak. Only like 3 GMs or something. But there's tons of British Grandmasters, and only 3 of them are playing in the British Championship. No, it's like 4, maybe Hebden, Arkell, and Adams. No, 3. I mean, most people just don't trust online chess, and I'm one of them. So I guess the restrictions in Britain are so strong still, huh? You can't have, I mean, they can't have over-the-board tournaments, or what? I thought they were coming back from lockdown. I don't risk even against 1700. Well, I mean, this game was pretty... It's not just that. It's morning, and I'm, like, tactically blind. I'm basically sort of like handicapped. My tactical function doesn't operate. I feel foggy brained before like noontime. So I even changed my style. Great Lazarus. It depends on how I feel. Honestly, I feel really hazy. I'm not going to enter into any kind of position that requires calculation here. And also, again, you know, this guy's playing for tricks. So against a player who's intentionally playing for tricks, you kind of want to play against it, his style. This is, though, my natural kind of positional style. I can play wild positions just as well, though. But I have to be energetic. Knight a6. How fast he can defend when the need arises. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Mr. Spock. Damn. Again, another player who's obsessed with time. GM Sean, it's obvious from your game that you're just way too obsessed with playing for time. F5. And I say that as a player with more time. It's kind of funny. But earlier on, he was playing too fast. Alright. I have more time now because I've had a winning position and he had to use up all his time. But the point is, don't get a lost position, The lost positions are the ones where you have to think a lot. Just don't get a lost position. Use your time when you need it before you have a lost position. It's too late to start thinking when you have a lost position. Too many people are just like playing and they start thinking once they have a bad position. That's not the way to play chess. You don't play as fast as you humanly can and then start thinking when you have a lost position. It's already too late, That's what a lot of people don't get. You just can't get a lost position. Better to have like a few seconds left and a good position than a lost position and tons of time. An increment. Well, yeah. I mean, I do the increment because of the stream, by the way. Plus, over the board tournaments are all increment now. I never used to play increment Blitz, and it took a while to get used to it. But prior to like 2010, 2015 even. I mean, literally, like prior to 5 years ago, I never played Blitz with increment. This is only something I've been doing since I've been streaming in 2016. But I realized early on, my first over-the-board tournament with increment or whatever, where I tried to like flag this guy. I remember losing this game because I spoiled my position. I was trying to run him on the clock. You cannot play for time in increment time controls. Period. End of story. It's a different animal. It's good though. It forces you to play the board. It's good for your chess. Forcing you to play the board. Forcing you to put priority on the best moves rather than the time. Blitz and bullet are fun, but it's not going to make you a great player to play bullet chess. People think that Magnus is a great player. He plays bullet chess. He's a great player. But he's not a great player because he played a lot of bullet chess. He's just a great player who can play any kind of time control. I was saying this yesterday. Magnus compartmentalizes the time controls. You know, he has a different... You know, he can recognize the difference between bullet and classical. Okay, so bishop e3. Do I have to take on d4 here? I think taking on d4 isn't forced. But what other options do I have? Like bishop takes b1, e6, e6, c4. That might actually be good for me. e6, c4. Where do I put my queen? Let's say e6, c4, queen d6, d5, ed, cd, knight b4. Was my queen to belong on d7? e6, queen d7, e6, c4, queen d7, d5, take, knight b4. Then knight e5 is annoying. So where does my queen go after e6, c4? I'm just wondering, I know that this is more commonly played. Castle queenside looks crazy. You know, that might be a good move. Probably not. It does look a little crazy, but it happens sometimes in this line. Yeah, so this is my preparation. Winning control of the bishop takes b1 it's messed up. It's fighting for control of the e4 and d5 squares. This is a way, it's a means of controlling the center. It's kind of weird. Tranquilizer knows what he's doing. Unfortunately, I had a game just like this the other day. Same exact position. Queen b1 might be worth a try. Is queen b1 better? I couldn't win a blitz game from this position the other day against some Ukrainian 2300. He said he was 2300 in his profile. Believe it, but he did fail this opening. He played a really bad move in this position. Awful. This is like been played by some strong players this far, but the next move he played was awful. I'm not going to reveal it yet until White makes his move, but I thought an awful move by White. He played b3. a3 is probably better than b3. b3 was like weakening his dark squares. Lasker's move is definitely better. It might even be book. I think this might be the book move. Trying to get control of, a little control of b4. Because my opponent played b3, bishop e4 check, and I was just better. So a3 looks right, actually. It'd be hard to believe that he knows this line. It's pretty rare. What is my plan? Don't know. What is my plan? I'm kind of new to playing this. I gave it up for a long time and haven't tried this line or looked at it much. Yeah, a3 looks strong. It looks like he played this perfectly. Maybe the best possible variation. a3 followed by bishop d3 looks optimal for White. Now where do I go? d6 or e7? That's the big question here. I don't know which square to put my bishop on. I guess c7, I don't know. Slightly more natural. If I play bishop d6, I'm concerned he's going to play bishop g5 at some point. Bishop b7 is safer. I mean, you may look at this position and say, well, white is worse because he has an IQP, but his bishops compensate. White has compensation for the isolated pawn. I don't think that white is worse. The question is whether white is better, objectively, and I don't know. White has more space. This Jesse Cry says that pawns are not people. Dude, that's a people. I mean, seriously, what a stupid philosophy. I mean, I like the guy, but pawns are not people. Dude, if this pawn isn't a people, I don't know what is. That pawn is extremely strong. It's strong as a piece on d4. It's not even a question. Pawns are extremely important. Some pawns are as strong as pieces, and that is taking away all the freaking central squares and giving white space to maneuver. It's absolutely as functional as important as a piece in this position. This d4 pawn is everything. It's white's entire game. If you think it's a weakness, I mean, you might be right in some sense, but it's also a strength. So now what do I do? I'm running out of ideas. My queen is in a stupid place. Stupid central square. Rook a d8 was probably wrong. I should have played my other rook. So where the heck am I supposed to put my pieces here? The other rook to d8 and then the other rook to c8 would have been better. I don't know what I'm doing with my rook on f8, like protecting my king side. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree. I didn't want a brain transplant. Okay, what is happening? What does this have to do with brain transplants? What is this brain transplant talk? I'm trying to find a place for my queen to go. I don't really like h5 out in front of my structure. There is no really good square for my queen, but it's clearly like getting in the way of accessing this square, which I really need. So one mistake with rook d8. My only mistake. Whoa. What is that? What is that? What? I don't understand. Does anybody understand? He went berserk with knight g5. He let me have his people. He lost his person on d4. I spent like a minute talking about how important the d4 pawn is. So let's see. Give me your people. You sacrificed your people. Good day from Australia. Thank you. Good day from Eastern Central Europe. The irony of losing your d4 pawn. The pawn was everything to him. You know, let's go to a safe haven. I wanted to take on a3. What's wrong with that? No question. No idea. Oh, he's playing for cheapos. Damn, that is a cheap move. Queen e3. He's just playing for sleazy cheapos. No shame. What time is it in Australia? It must be pretty late. Over there. Rook d8? Yes. The rook did nothing anyway. I should have put it on d8 in the first place. We got him. So how was this game sound-wise? I didn't like rook a d8. It looked good until the first question was this position. Vlastimil Janza getting on the bus with 80 years. Bishop e7 or bishop d6? First question. Which is better? Computer is on the fence. And then finally, it says rook c8. Well, he agrees about my rook placement. And then second question. Where do you put? Yeah. See? Tejas and Vlastimil Janza both played rook f8. What did I say? The first thing I said was I put my wrong rook on d8. The other rook. Duh. So my a rook can go to c8. It's not that c8 is that good, but dubious character versus Bakre. 0-1. And then Janza. How is a6 and b5? I mean, I played a6, but remember, that's his b4, b5 sort of area. I don't know, he might be playing for that push at some point. Yeah, b5 of course is possible. It's risky though. It weakens my c file. This is clearly best. Engine will confirm that, I'm sure. See? Rook fd8 equal. These guys supposed to play rook fd1, but it doesn't look really necessary. That move I'm not sure about. Anyway, good game. It's always satisfying to beat the c3 Sicilian. I have a message from Cheesy New. He's on drugs. He's taking painkillers. That was Wojtiewicz's excuse once when he lost against me. He said he was on antibiotics. I was like, alright. I never heard about antibiotics like causing you to not be able to play chess. It might cause there may be a reason you're taking antibiotics that makes you sick in the first place, but I don't think the antibiotics themselves are causing you to lose. But painkillers, yeah, I could see that. Welcome everybody to the stream. Dr. Trip Chance. Am I next? Yeah. I want to visit my fridge. Say hi for me. Palinka. Palinka is an antibiotic. Antibiotics might have side effects. Not normally affecting the brain, yeah. I don't know. I guess Wojtkiewicz was trying to say he was sick or something, you know, but it was funny the way he said it. It was like, the antibiotics. His statement made the impression that the antibiotics made him play bad or something. Of course, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. But I will say that I've played chess taking antibiotics many occasion, and I never had the idea that it would adversely affect my chess play. But Cheesy Noob played badly. He said he's on painkillers. I hope everything's alright, Cheesy Noob. Now, which way do we go? White's supposed to play like knight f3 here, right? I'm not really a Grunfeld player. I used to be, sort of, when I was 2000s. Knight c6 is even possible. What happens on knight c6? See, the thing is, I see d5. I see dead people. I see d5, but I see maybe, you know, he's got to watch this. I have a6. And when he plays bishop e5 check, you see, the thing is, I want to pressure d4. And if I put a knight on d7 or a bishop on d7, I'm interfering with my own pressure on d4. So I thought knight c6 would be most interesting. You know, maintaining the threat against d4. And I have no idea about the theory here, but I'm pretty sure knight f3 is the only move I've ever seen played in this position. Bishop g5 was very rare. You're playing exchange variation with bishop g5 now. I tried to sack a pawn, but he doesn't want it. So I mean, he's supposed to play like bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, cd5. It's a gambit. Okay. So we're golden. It reminds me of the Brasilimo. Maybe Sumer should play e4. I'm not actually a doctor. You're a doctor of veterinary medicine. I'm doctor. A lot of people call themselves doctors, Dr. Tripchance, when they're like doctors of computer science. I mean, you're not a medical doctor, but you still have a doctorate. In Hungary, you would still be a doctor. Lawyers call themselves doctors here, which is interesting. The definition of doctor is a real question, huh? What is the definition of doctor? Doctor. That's big in Hungary. Lawyers are referred to as doktor. You never see that in America, really. I mean, unless they're like professors. But really big here, calling lawyers doctor. Doctor of jurisprudence. But you're not an MD. But you're still a doctor in the medical sense, which is closer than anything else. So if there was like an emergency on an airplane or something, and you know they needed someone to administer medical assistance, I would think like a veterinary doctor would be, you know, a useful thing to have around. All right, going after my pawn. Is this going to be a draw because all the pawns just get exchanged? The Grunfeld is a forced draw. Yeah, rook c1. Maybe my last move isn't so hot. I had c5, but he should sack the exchange there. Like, seriously, if c5 take, and if bishop takes a1, queen takes a1, I mean, the computer might play c5. Unfortunately, now it looks like I only have equal. People are pawns. What was it? Pawns are not people. That's the Jesse Cry theory. We're only equalizing. Alright, what if I play rook c8? I hate it, but you know, I hate having a rook like that. But I guess if I'm threatening to win a pawn, I can live with it. So now, queen takes or bishop takes? Queen takes, bishop e7, rook e8, bishop c5. Or bishop takes. Maybe bishop takes is better. I mean, establishing that bishop on d4. The establishment. How many more challenges for the day? Okay, I've got Great Lazarus. We have an hour left. Today's my longer day. Usually I've been leaving on Mondays and Wednesdays early, but on Fridays I can work till 1:30. So I should be able to get to all these games. Great Lazarus, ETK, Goblin Pawn Shop, Dhruv Goal, Atatsur, Play Like Kasparov. So we're up a pawn. Got to be careful about the king side. You know, even if I played e5 and sacked the exchange, I would have adequate compensation. Super bishop. Yeah, this isn't a feisty move. e5. There's that. Disruptive, e6. But basically black is better. Queen a5, queen d5. Let's play queen d7. He's down a clear pawn here. And I mean, this is becoming a threat. You lost your people too. What is it with people's d4 pawns? Everybody's losing their d4 pawns. Yeah, the challenge is just disappear and come back. It's not that he unchallenged. For some reason, when people leave the tab or something, it goes away. It didn't used to do that for a long time. But this started happening again, where challenges just disappear. Rook fd8 again. The themes, the recurring themes. The more I teach chess, the more I very, very much value the fundamentals. Center. The better you get, the more you realize this is not, all that classical stuff is right, you know, the control of the center is important. Alright, he's after my pawn. It's a bad hombre. I was afraid of that. Queen e6, take. I'm bailing out. Give me the chalupa. No, another pawn. Which pawn do I want? The a2 pawn or the e5 pawn? I think he had a problem there. In that variation, there may have been a long line where his tactics didn't work. I don't know if this is a win or a draw or what it is. Which is harder to understand, chess or wrestling? Wrestling chess. Oh no. No. Seemed to paralyze him. I've heard of chess boxing. Alright. Quick review of the opening. Analyze board. So I don't like this, but whatever, it's a variation of some sort. C5. So I was wrong. I thought knight f3 was the move. Sue me. Rook c1 is the move. Theoretical novelty, bishop e5 check, and the best move is knight c6. Score 1 for the home team. I found the right answer. Was bishop g4 the right move? What else? So I'm only equal. Yeah, you see, c5. That was the other thing I wanted to check. And I called this correctly. Computer likes c5, but it's an exchange sack, and it's like very unclear after bishop a1. This is fine for the computer, but for black, you know, for a human, classic Grunfeld exchange sacrifice. This dangerous pawn, and the fact that my king is kind of messed up. Yeah, this looks problematic. Hard to play. Great Lazarus. So my analysis is good. I'm not calculating well, but masturbate. Rest in peace. What do we got? An open Sicilian. Nobody lets me play the openings. The open Sicilian. The opening Sicilian. I'm never allowed to play this. The Paschall. Mainline rouser. So I think f5 is kind of an old school move. All right. I don't know enough theory here to really be confident. I've been new to this variation. Paschall wrote a really good book on this, but it's very technical. It's kind of poorly organized. I think he went to the Zdenko Paschall, who's a Croatian grandmaster. He went to the Mihai Shuba school of book writing, where the chapters seem like completely random. I can't really get my head around the layout of his Rouser book, and I'm not good at just like memorizing reams of variations. There are very few words and not a lot of description. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I bought a Dorian's book on the Sveshnikov. It's just not really for me. So Queen f4. I feel like I had a similar game. Not the same though. One of my students had a game where like he was white and his opponent gave him this. like knight on d5. It was horrible. You can't do that. Give white the d5 square for nothing. So I guess we have to play bishop e7. It's possible to play h5, but how much does that contribute to black's position objectively? The idea of playing bishop h6 is a one-move shot, and this is major right now. So I guess I have to play bishop e7. Maybe black will castle queenside at a later date. This is not ideal. I mean, it's better to get the bishop out to h6, to f4, to e5, where it becomes an all-devouring entity. Imagine if my bishop was on e5. White can, like, resign. Slightly improved position of the worst piece. Alright. I don't know if queen f4 is book or not. Anyway, guys, I take my chess seriously. Thanks for joining me. Next stream will be Sunday simul for 25 players, 6:30 CEST. Why the wrestling question? Did you watch wrestling on? I don't try to understand wrestling. One of my friends when I was a kid was on the wrestling team. Yeah, I never understood anything. You mean like the rules? Like Olympic wrestling? There's also Greco-Roman wrestling, right? So you got like another form of wrestling to further complicate things. So I think that we're good here. Ray Lazarus, he's not a theoretician in the browser. Although queen g4 looks interesting. I have queen check and queen g5. Is that right? Or just bad? This is what I expected. He's looking for this and this. Okay, queen check, queen g5 would like temporarily solve my problems. Not completely though. He has queen h3. And I still have to worry about defending my pawn. It's probably good enough though. The other option is bishop d7, my original plan here. Queen g7, rook f8, dropping a pawn. I'd rather not drop a pawn. Let's not. Obviously there's b4. I should have considered that last move as well. Sometimes they could sacrifice a piece. I've never watched wrestling. I don't know. It's something against wrestling per se. I don't know. I'm really hazy on this. Right. Who the heck? Plastic bottle. Who the heck knows? Hungary is in the final four of water polo. In the men's water polo. That's our #1 sport. Well, actually, water polo and fencing. They have 5 gold medals. I spy a trick. Really evil trick, like bishop h5? Wait. b4, bishop h5, b takes c, pawn takes e6. Dude, that's just ridiculous. That's not happening. I don't know, you know? I don't know. Interesting position. Interesting position. What's that about? Alright. No. I'm going with it. Knight is questionably located. You would have tried for bishop h6. Well, I mean, that is a standard plan, as I said earlier, to locate to the center on e5. But it's never easy playing with the doubled f-pawns. I don't know if this variation is real or not. You know, I've never seen queen f4. Though I feel like maybe I did, actually. Slightly different position. I mean, the sacrifice of a knight here. You can't do pawn takes pawn because of bishop takes. It's too late for that. Bishop takes his resigns. Now he's losing a knight. But I mean, he did have e5 earlier, by the way. He could play e5. Sometimes there's this sacrifice to clearance sale for e4. Speaking of the devil. Speak of the devil. I don't really like that my rook is unprotected. My pawn is hanging on a2. Or whatever that is. a6. Is everything okay? Whoa. What? Yeah. It's crazy. I guess I should migrate my king over to g7. Migrant rook. Castle. Legal. Still legal. Crazy stuff going on here. I allowed a threefold repetition. Interesting. I'm winning. But I didn't see how to move here. Rook f8 or something? Just play rook f8. I guess I was winning. Wow, apparently he has queen b7 right away. And now he can really force a draw. Rook f7, queen b8. I was concerned about that. Now I literally have to take the draw if he plays it right away. This problem with the bishops. Queen f4 was a weird move. Never played. Wonder if it's been played after take. Yes. So that's why it's familiar. I played this before with the pawn exchange and then queen f4. Good morning, Princess Chess. Good morning, chess players. Wow, we have huge center pawn loss in this game. White was winning? What? White was winning? Oh my god. So queen e3 is bad. Looks like everything I did was wrong. From the get-go. Gecko. b4 right away. What about this? Then I take on c3. So b4 right away. Knight e2 and then e5 killing him. And he can't get access to this square. This is important. Queen h4. Bishop e7, knight g3. How clear is this, actually? Remember I had a game with Andras, the Australian Andras, 15 years ago. Some kind of browser like that, where I lost. Play like Kasparov. Yeah, so that game was very messy, sharp position. I don't understand what they're talking about. My Tribute account said mate in 2. Wait, where is there a mate in 2? I don't see any mates in 2. Let's try something different. I'll get on the b3. The b3 bandwagon. Thanks everybody for joining me. You had a similar game but didn't have the move order. Yeah, okay, so that's like an older variation for white. bf5. It's not considered by the cognoscenti to be like the main line now, I guess. But there's so many variations. It's really, I'm afraid to play it because, like I said, Kojal's written like a 300-page book on it. I mean, there are so many variations. It's almost as bad as the Najdorf. I generally try to avoid really theoretical lines. I always have tried to avoid the most trendy of variations where there's tons of theory. Play like Kasparov, where are you? Mukri, 3-0, don't flow. We got to do 5+3 casual for my feeble old brain to be able to function quick enough. Play like Kasparov, where did you go? He lost his internet. Let's give him a minute. We're going to be streaming for another... We still have 40 minutes left. Brony, welcome. Thanks for being subscribers. Princess Chess 64 with the high five for Asterbait. Where is Play Like Kasparov? You left. Do we have any other challenges? Where did my other challenges go? There were like 5 challenges 5 minutes ago, and then everybody left? That's pretty weird. What happened to Atat Sawar? And 3 other challenges all mysteriously vanished at the same time? That's highly suspicious. I don't think so. I don't think that all those challenges just all dropped at the same time. It's got to be a bug. We had like 5 challenges. Play like Kasparov, where are you? Alright, we're going to drop this game. He's not here. And then we'll take challenges. Asterbait for the challenge. Princess Chess. Game aborted. Maybe I just can't be challenged anymore. All the challenges dropped. My opponent disappeared. No one's challenging me. Maybe I got banned. Maybe I was banned from lichess or something. Where did everybody go? We have 28 viewers and nobody's gonna challenge me. Bring me a 5+3 game now. Asterbait 3+2. He's playing a simul. We have a challenge from a guy playing another game at the wrong time control. Can we get the proper time control, please? Alien reptilians. No, where did all those people go? It's just a coincidence? We lost 3 or 4 challenges. You're older than me. It's hard to believe anybody's older than me anymore. Ray Lazarus says he's older than me. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tezake. Thank you. 5+3 challenges, please. We've got time for a few more games. 2 more games. Beyond this. Alright, I'm going to give it my all here. We gave up a draw to Great Lazarus in a very sloppy game where it looked like both sides were winning. C3 Sicilian. No. Open Sicilian is sharp and requires accurate play. I'm not surprised to see that complicated rouser where we end up with like 70 cent pawn loss. Very easy to make tactical mistakes. Friday is here, thank God. I also know what to do against G3. You're transposing to a Bogo Indian-like position, but it's not technically a Bogo, because I haven't played Knight F3. And Tony, one of our subscribers, hasn't been on for a while. He likes to play this. Avruk has written books on G3. Israeli Grandmaster Boris Avruk. Oh no, you dropped a piece with check. What? Bishop takes b4 would be simpler. This is one of the weirdest moves I've ever played in my life. On the plus side, it still wins a piece. But on the downside, like, I'm not playing bishop takes b4. Like, you need to have your head examined when you don't play bishop takes b4 here. I'm so excited, though. The active queen a4 check. Inaccuracy. At least I saw I could win a piece. Obviously, Tezek, thanks for challenging. You weren't ready for a game today. That's alright. You're also a morning person. Speaking of old systems, for example, back in the middle 80s and early 90s, the most popular variation in Spanish was Hungarian defense, the bishop e7. When you say Hungarian defense, I mean, I'm of the opinion that you're talking about Hungarian defense to the Gioco Piano. You know, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop e7. That's the Hungarian defense. When you say Hungarian defense in the Spanish, are you referring to a specific variation in like the classical lines of the Spanish here with like bishop e7? Something within that? You like the Breyer, you mean? Because Breyer was technically Hungarian, I guess. So you're talking about this, like rook e1, b5, bishop e3, d6, c3, castles, h3, knight b8. Are you talking about this, old school? Still played by József Pinter. The old school name was Hungarian. But particularly knight b8, are you talking about? Breyer variation is not very popular. So play like Kasparov is back. Now he gets white. Totally bogus. He just like left because he had to play. He had to play black and aborted the game. I'm gonna try a modern. Now it's a Benoni. Well, you know what to do against the Benoni. Delayed Gingy Indian. Gingy Indian deferred. Referred to in some circles as the beefeater variation. I like to know who made up that name. Is that David Norwood? How did it become the beefeater variation? I don't know. But it makes me want a martini. Queen d3 I have not faced. But now we're stopping. We're stopping h5. Stop, fish. Okay. So it's possible to play knight e4. Knight e4. Not clear what that does. I'm not in love with it. So if I play like d6, he takes and plays h5. I mean, it's like a continuation of the plan to play h5 here for white. I don't like I don't like him getting in h5. I'm not going for this pawn so much, as I don't like him playing h5 in a favorable way. I haven't played a Gingy Indian in a while, although I've always had good results with this opening. I'm not sure I've ever lost a game in the few I've played over the board. Then again, I haven't played anyone really good. Like, I think I've played the Gingy Indian maybe like 3 or 4 games, and I'm undefeated against an average of 2,300. Bishop d2. Yes. He will eventually get in h5. It's not the end of the world. Famous last words. Famousest. The most famousest. I don't want you opening that H file. But is g5 going too far? Alright, let's think. Is g5 going too far? Should I just take on h5? Something Roman would routinely do. If I take on h5, problem is he has like rook takes, and then I can't play knight d7 because of rook f5. That's extremely annoying. I mean, maybe I could. Position is getting kind of weird. Rook g8 just abandoning the h file, or rook f8, rook g8. Let's say rook g8. Give him the h file. What's wrong with knight d7? Knight d7 takes knight e5. Dude, that rocks. Let's do it. Spanish or Roy Lopez? I have no clue. Now I take. You're not welcome. We mobilized the pizzas here. There's even this. Alien face huggers on g4. That kind of looks awkward for white. How do you protect that? He has a tactic. Rook h4, knight g4, rook takes, pawn takes, queen e4, pawn takes f3. I'm up the exchange there, but he's got some... I mean, it's true. I also have knight d2, so it looks like this works. I'm just gonna take. But he has some compensation here. I'm not sure this was the best line, but I gotta do something. He's so fast that I've got to do something quick. He can't leave the c3 pawn hanging, so his bishop is tied down to that. Take, bishop e7. 1984. Oh, a guest in our high school. Dragon Barlov. Wow. Yeah, I've only heard of him by name. I never met him. But he was very strong in the 80s. He played in some tournaments in the US, or at least in the West. That was right around the time when I started playing. The same time for me, 1984, was like my first. I think in 1984 I played in my first unrated tournament. So castles. In that time I played so-called peasant chess. And you were the only winner out of 30 players in the high school in the simul against the GM. Most people are still playing peasant chess. Man, I don't know about this. So what about the rook pawns? Whoa. How are my rook pawns doing? How does he stop them? I know one thing for sure. I gotta be careful about this diagonal. That's unpleasant, chess. Peasant or pleasant? Man. Queen c4, e4. Queen c4, e4. It's unbelievable. And black is worse. It's unbelievable. What am I supposed to do? Crazy. I have to try to defend this position. Looks really tough. White has no development at all, and he's winning. Down the exchange. Pretty deep. Deep chess. He bailed from his game with black to get to play me with white again. He got black last game, so it's fair. Black last game, black the game before that. He had black the last 2 games against me, actually. That's kind of weird. He had black the last 2 games against me. I guess it's just supposed to be like totally random. Wow, he has black the last 3 games against me. Black the last 4 games against me. He's black the last 5 games. He was black the last 5 games against me. And he made you play a shameful game that you shouldn't have had to play. That's crazy. He was black the last 5 games. Lichess is the silly system where it's like random, like flipping a coin or something. Shouldn't it like try to equalize the colors? He found it. He has an answer for everything. Damn it. What do I do with that? I have queen takes d5. I missed it on the first shot. No, I didn't have it. No. Not cool. I'm sure that I was close to busted there. Wow. I mean, we had seconds left. But I think this position is really, really bad for black. Here. Where I spent all my time. I was wrong, though. Computer says it's okay. Wow. I was terrified I was positionally lost here. The engine says it's okay. It never occurred to me to play king c7. This never even entered my mind that I can play that move. It's so strange. Kind of an important move that I would normally play. Wow. So look at this. It just never even occurred to me I could play king c7, defending my pawn. Instead I played this, and you should take. That endgame's very good. I'm probably lost here, because your center mass is so strong. Center of gravity of white's position is so strong. Only 100 centipon loss for white, and I'm averaging about 75 for my games. Yeah, I mean, my pawns, but they're so far away, you know, it's going to take me all day to get those down. And they're not well supported. I mean, I agree, it's not easy. The engine says white's winning, but I mean, okay. Yours are also a long way. I don't expect like a grandmaster would... I can't drop this too, though. I mean, I don't expect like a grandmaster would automatically be able to say if this is... if this is good enough or not. White's winning, apparently. Check or e5. Wow. For example, look at this. Amazingly, your central pawns are like winning. It's crazy. Guys, I have time for one more challenge. So who will be the lucky one to beat me in my last game for today? Masturbate. We'll be back Sunday, 6:30 CST. If you criticize them, then they will drop their challenges. I was terrified. That's why I spent all my time on going into this position, but I didn't really have a choice. After rook c1. What am I supposed to play here? King c7? Apparently I had a better move. Bishop a4. Allowing me to play, what, rook d7? Bishop f4. Maybe I can trap your rook here. Queen h7. It's a very, very complicated game. What about the opening? Yeah, this is a new one. Knight f6 is a better score than queen a5. h5. So here the computer doesn't like knight e4. I was afraid of this, like take and h5. But I can play g5, keeping the lines closed. I underestimated that. Thanks, Great Lazarus, for playing. Astrobate. Time to sacrifice yourself for the greater cause. We got only 15 minutes left. Last game. Got no challenges. Where is everybody? New lower sub prices in Hungary. Supporting your favorite creators with monthly and gifted subs is now more affordable with a local payment method. Just so you guys know. Twitch is introducing local payment methods. So like if you're in one country, it will be cheaper than others. Alright. Acer. Yeah, you should play bishop f4. We did get the challenge. 10 plus 2. Alright, 10 plus 2, but you better play fast. Astrobate with the 10 plus 2. Warm up for your classical tournament. I'm playing in 5 minutes, man. I'm berserking. I'm berserking. Astrobate, come on. You haven't beaten me in so long. B6, bishop A6. Astrobate's played that before. I know you're talking about our game. Astrobate, what are you doing? You're playing a King's Indian. Astrobate's seriously taking drugs. I forced him to play. He's not in form. It's a really bad Benoni. No. He's intimidated. Oh, I dropped a pawn. You can take on e6. Knight e6, queen h6. It's not that clear, man. You have knight g7. I don't know. He can't play against me anymore. He used to be able to play against me. Now he just like gives up. Alright guys, I guess I'll go. We'll be back on Sunday with subscriber stream. Sorry, simul stream for 25 players. Astrobate, I don't know, you can't play against me. I know it's late there, so we're forcing you to play against your will. Next stream Sunday, again 6:30 p.m. simul. Thanks everybody for joining. Quiet here today. Alright, we'll see you all then. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.